Well, thank you, everybody. It's hard to follow the patriarch and also the vice president, but my name is Darin Lahood. I'm proud to serve as congressman from the 18th District of Illinois, and happy to be here tonight with all of you. Let me just first say a big thank you to IDC and their entire team and what they do for Christians around the world, for their advocacy and bringing everyone together here tonight. It is so powerful to have all of you here in Washington, D.C. And I also want to give a big thanks to the religious leaders that traveled from far away to come here, many of them from the Middle East, to share their stories and advocate here tonight. Appreciate them being here. And obviously the words of the Vice President. He was forceful and strong and passionate about what he believes in and this administration, and it is very refreshing to hear that here tonight. And so I commend the administration and Vice President Pence for their kind words. Let me just say, I've just been in Congress for about 2 years. I represent a district in central Illinois. Peoria, Illinois is my hometown, and I'm awful proud of my Lebanese roots and my Lebanese heritage. I'm also proud to be a Maronite Catholic and proud of my faith. And I've had the opportunity to visit Lebanon on a number of occasions and was just there in August and traveled throughout the country and met with a lot of religious leaders, met with the patriarch, but had an opportunity to see things on the ground there. And specifically to address the refugee problem in Lebanon. And we in Congress have introduced a resolution that is House Resolution 252. And we are working very hard on behalf of House Resolution 252. And I commend IDC for being active. My co-sponsor on that is Marcy Kaptur of Ohio. We have a number of co-sponsors. But what our legislation does is, it says that the 1.5 million refugees that are currently in Lebanon, that we need to, working with the UN, put them in safe zones in Syria. When you go there and you see the pressure and the stress and the anxiety that these refugees have put on Lebanon, it is very apparent that we need to do something about that. Much different than refugees that are in Jordan or Turkey, the refugees in Lebanon are dispersed throughout the country. And in a country of 4 million people, that many refugees has had a drastic effect on the country. It would be like America taking 80 million refugees. We wouldn't stand for that. And so our legislation, we hope to get a hearing before the Foreign Relations Committee by the end of next month. But I know many of you are going to be advocating on Capitol Hill tomorrow. For the members of Congress and the senators that you talk to, please stress upon them the importance of this legislation. The more co-sponsors we can get, the better for this. And so it's vitally important that we do this. There's a lot of support from the administration on that. This will help Lebanon. A stable, secure Lebanon is in the best interest of the United States. It's in the best interest of the region over there, too. And so look forward to continuing to advocate for this. Let me just mention a couple things. IDC stands up for religious liberty and religions all throughout the Middle East. And as a practicing Maronite Catholic, I will tell you, and I remind my colleagues all the time, it is very easy to be a Christian in Peoria, Illinois, or a Christian in Virginia, or a Christian in Florida. It's very difficult to be a Christian in Alexandria, Egypt, or in Yemen, or in Raqqa, Syria, or in Mosul, Iraq. It's very hard to be a Christian there. And we need to recognize that and remember that always. And IDC reminds us of that and how important it is that we in America, we live in the greatest country in the world, but we have to remember that Christians are suffering all around this planet and be reminded of that constantly with our colleagues and our folks in America, and the struggle and the persecution and the threats and the harm that is done to Christians all over this world. And we can never forget that. As elected leaders in this country, we need to stand up for Christians and continue to advocate for those policies that will protect them throughout the world. And I look forward to being a strong advocate, continuing to work with IDC and all of you in this room to continue to look out for the best interests of Lebanon, the best interest of Christians and advocating strongly here in the Congress. Thank you all very much.